So this video is about class modules. So much of what we've done so far are about standard um, or standalone modules. And um, I really am sorry that we don't have more time to cover more of about class modules because class modules hold event-driven procedures, and they are event-driven procedures are rich with opportunities to create really works of art in terms of making a form or report so much more user-friendly. And it is really incredible what it can do. But unfortunately, we do not have that much time. And I think probably you don't have any more energy. It's the end of the semester and you're like, get me out of here. So this is what I'll cover. And so that you'll have been exposed to class modules. Class modules, just to review, um, usually and pretty exclusively hold event-driven procedures. Those event-driven procedures are almost always subroutines. Okay, and so what do I mean by event-driven? What I mean is that when something happens in a form or report, then an event happens. And if there's code associated with that event, then that code will run. It's the same as with macros. Okay, you can either associate a macro with an event, or you can associate Visual Basic Code. You can't do both. But just to give you a little bit of idea or a review actually about event-driven procedures and macros. Just right here, if you look at the property sheet under the event tab, there are lots and lots of events here. And you can associate either a macro or code right here. Okay. And you can have code associated with lots and lots of different kinds of controls. Lots and lots of different kinds of controls. For example, there is a macro here that's associated with this particular drop-down list, but you could, if you wanted to, associate code instead. Okay, so what I want to do now is go back to my slide here and talk about the onCurrent event for a form. So the onCurrent event for a form happens when you first open a form and a record appears, and then each time that you make a new record appear. Okay, so it's basically every time a record appears, the onCurrent event occurs. And if there's a macro or Visual Basic Code associated with this particular event, then that will run. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to associate some code with the onCurrent event. Okay, and this is the code right here that we're going to associate with the onCurrent event in this particular form. And that is the form that I have open right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just copy it since I already have it here. and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on this because remember, we want the onCurrent event for the form, okay? OnCurrent is actually a property that is specific to forms. If you were to click here, you wouldn't see the the OnCurrent event. So I just want to make sure that you're clear that there are different events available for different controls and for the form itself or report. Okay, so here on the OnCurrent event, I'm going to click on the Build button and I'm going to click on Code Builder because we want to type in Visual Basic Code. Before we talked about macros, and so then we clicked on macros and we went to the macro builder. But this time we're going to click on Code Builder and I'm going to say OK. And now here you'll notice that it says private sub, meaning subroutine, form underscore current. That's talking about for the form, the property current or the event current. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste that code. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is remember, OnCurrent it means this code right here will be run every single time a new record shows up on the screen. Okay? So the code here says if visit date, so let's go ahead and look at visit date. Here is the field visit date. So if this field visit date is less than 1/1/2016, then, okay, LBL archive message.visible equals true. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, LBL archive message. Okay, let's see if we can find that on our screen. So LBL visit. That looks like LBL archive message. Let's see. But we want LBL archive. Oh no, we want LBL archive message. Okay, so we're okay. And my dog's panting again. Okay, so what it's saying is that that this particular sorry about that. Okay, panting dog has left the room. Okay, so LBL archive message dot visible. So when it says dot and then it has something after it, it's talking about a property of this item right here. So if we go and we look here at LBL archive message, okay, let's see if we can find a visible property, okay? And so if we click on format and we look, here's caption, here's visible, okay? And currently it is set to yes. So let's go back to our code, okay? And so LBL archive MSG dot visible equals true. True meaning yes. False, no. So it's being set to yes or true. It's already yes. We saw that. But just to be sure, it's setting it to true. And then it says, on top of that, it wants you to take the visit date, the for color, okay? So if we look here, visit date, and we look for color, right here, okay? So currently this is the 4 color, and I'm pretty sure that's black. That number represents black. So anyway, we're going to set that to VB red, which means we're going to make the 4 color, or the font color, the color of the lettering, red. Okay? So that's what it's going to do in the case that the date is less than 1/1 of 2016. So basically 2015 or before. Okay? If that's not the case and it's actually 2016 or later, then the LBL archive message dot visible, so it's going to make it so that it is not showing. It's equal to false, making it so it doesn't show. And then the visit date dot for color is going to be black. So the lettering of the date is going to be black. Okay? So that's basically all that's going to happen. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the debugger so that we can see it in action when it happens. Just for this, and then we'll see it run without the debugger. Okay, so I'm going to go into FormView, and because I'm going to see a record, the first record, it should run. So we'll go. And in fact, it's starting to run. Okay? So it says if visit date is less than 1/1/2016. Let's go and see what it is. And right now it is. It's less than it's 11/9/2015. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and press F8, and we would anticipate that this set of code will be run because the date is less than, or is in 2015 or before. And so in fact it does jump to this set of code. Okay, so now so if we look, currently the date of the visit lettering is black, and archive if paid is showing, and it is red. Okay, so we're going to set it to be visible to be true, and it is already, but it won't change. It's already showing, but we're still running the code. Okay, VB red, then it jumps to the end if, and then end sub. Okay. All right, so then now the date of visit is red as well. And that was what our code said to do, was to make the visit date red as well as make the LBL archive message visible. And it's done that. I mean, it's made sure that it was that way. And so if we go to the next record, it should run again. And let's see what our information shows. Okay, so this one is again less than 2015. So it's going to again run the same set of instructions. So we've seen how these set of instructions can run in the situation where visit date is in 2015 or before, but we want to see what happens here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the debugger back on, and I'm going to come here, and I've peeked, and I know that the next record is in 2016, so the other code should run. So I'll go ahead and click on next record. Okay, and when I've done that, notice that this visit date is in 2016 and this label is showing, but our code hasn't yet run. It's still here in the debugger. So watch what happens when this code is run. Okay, so first it's checking for visit date to be less than 1/1 of 2016, and it is not. So I'll press F8 and it will jump down to the else statement because this is not true. And when this is not true, it goes to the else option. And then I'll press F8 again, and now you'll notice LBL archive message.visible is slated to become false. And what that means is that right here, this particular label right here, currently it is showing the visible property makes it is set to true. But when after I run this particular set of code, then it will become false and this label should go away. Oops, this label right here should become invisible. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll press F8 and let's go check and see if it's gone. And it is in fact gone. Okay, so let's go back over here, and the next thing in the set of code it says to do is visit date.forecolor equals VB black. Okay, so over here right now the date of visit is red. Okay, but we haven't executed this statement. When I press F8, it executes the statement and sets the forecolor to black, and you can see that it is now black. Okay, and so then I'll go ahead and press F8 and F8 again, and finish the procedure. Okay, so that is an example of an event-driven procedure. So now I want to show you what it looks like when the code is run without the debugger. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the next record show up on the screen. And notice that the data visit currently is in red lettering and this particular label is showing. But when I click on the next record button here, notice that label goes away and then the coloring of the lettering here is now black. Okay, so it goes really fast. Okay. So the whole point of this is to understand that you can associate code with lots and lots of different events that happen in a form. If you update a form in a certain text box, if you click somewhere, you can have code associated with that particular event. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time in this class to explain that or to explore that anymore, and I'm really sorry. But maybe you're not because you're tired and you just want the semester to be over with. Okay, anyway, so that's the end of this video.